Hey, what's up, everyone? First, I want to say thanks for checking out my videos and following me on YouTube. I really appreciate it. I've got something that's interesting. I've been really working on trying to get this truggy built up so that it can withstand the power of the system, like the gears. Let me show you. These are the original gears. They're straight cut. They're a little worn down now from it skipping over, but actually, I'm sorry. Nope, that's not the one I'm talking about. This is the one that's wore down. Let's see if I can get it to focus. I had to turn my camera around, but anyway, this gear is wore down. But all right, let me turn my camera around. All right, so I started out by ordering this part right here, which is the differential 10-tooth spiral cut. Okay, which replaces this gear. It's made just like it, except it's got a different, pattern for the tooth. My phone is being jotty here, guys. Might have to grab a different recording device, so hold up. All right, guys. Hopefully the video quality will come out better. The other phone I was going to use is not charged. Anyway, so I just want to show you a comparison before we get started. All right. This is the original pinion gear from this truggy. This is it's a Serpent Cobra 811 TE Team Edition. It came as a nitro, but Serpent sold a conversion kit, which I think was offered sometime after production of the nitro. So it was maybe even as early as the same year. I'm not real sure, but somewhere between 2010 and 2014. And that's when they came up and started offering the gears that I'm replacing them with. Okay, so I wanted to upgrade it. I wanted to be able to upgrade to the diff box in the rear and, start doing some Serpent upgrades that I thought would fit, but the diff boxes do not have the same bolt pattern, so that's the biggest problem. All right, and you can see why I would absolutely need to change the diff box, because it houses different ball bearings to keep this pinion gear in line. So, all right, so this was the original one. If you can look at the teeth, you can see that they're pretty rounded out on this. It's, I've had trouble with the rear skipping. Now the front teeth have a little bit of roundedness on them too. And also notice how small that gear is, this one here. All right, now this is the Srx8, which I bought the gear. It came with, it's like 30 some bucks. It came with the case. And it's like brand new. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace and use this part, which is Serpent. Let's get flipped over here. Serpent 600 696 43 tooth spiral. And this is 600 695 10 tooth spiral. It's not in there anymore. That's already been installed in the truck. I will probably have to adjust it while I'm shimming it. So I'm gonna get the rear end of the truck off. Let's take a look at this first. Let me get it out of the bag. So hold up. All right, I'm kind of impressed with it. It looks pretty good so far. You can see the swivel cut, which is similar to this. But the reason why this won't work is if you look at the width there. Let me see if I can hold both of these. This one sinks down lower around the differential cup, so it brings it tighter, a little bit closer to the pinion. And also, if you notice the pinion gears, this is the 811 truggy pinion gear. This is the Srx8 truggy pinion gear. You should be able to notice the different size. That one stop rolling away. This one just looks dainty compared to that. That's why I was really hopeful I would be able to use this, just because look at that thing, man. It just looks beefy and, ready for the job. Now, this one looks pretty good too, though. So it definitely doesn't have quite as much thickness, but the teeth look a little thicker. Now, let's compare. Here's the original one. This one's got grease and stuff all over it. I run white lithium on the actual gears, which I'm considering switching, but haven't really had any issues with that. So, all right, guys. So we'll get this thing mounted on there. The other thing, Srx8 uses different bearings, which is another reason I was hoping to be able to upgrade. And eventually I will get the Srx8 Truggy, but they use the larger. This is like the standard size for 8 scale, 8/15, or it's a 8x16x5, I think. So it's 5 millimeters wide. Got an 8 millimeter hole, and it's 16 millimeters from end to end. But all right, guys. So yeah, I'm going to use. Let me show you all this. So this is the actual internals. This is the 811. Excuse my voice. And then this is the Srx8. So a lot bigger. That's why you can use lighter fluids. So yeah, guys. All right. So I'm gonna get the rear end off, and we're gonna get to work on this. All right, guys. So we got the rear end off. I've already set the thing. I got 2 shims behind it. I got 2 more shims I can put on the diff. I can probably find more if I were to need them. So right now, I'm choosing my diff case, and I'm going with the Srx8, guys. So you already know that. That's why I got it. So we are going to get this new gear fitted up with the new stuff, add some 10K associated oil, and go from there. All right, guys. So this ring on the shaft of your outdrive is to put grease so that it stays kind of lubricated. So hold up, I'll show you. All right, guys. So that's about how I do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. But yeah, so there's an idea. All right, you also want to grease your O-rings, which I'm using new O-rings for this one. They will last probably, I don't know, 3 months of racing to 6 months, but you want to change them pretty much every other dip fluid change probably. All right, my daughter and her friends are singing outside, so please excuse the noise, but it sounds pretty, I like it, so anyway. All right, so I've gotten the gear in. I've got the bearing on. Whoop. Got everything greased. The seal there. And we are ready to go. So I'm going to put this to the on the diff. And then we're going to put it in there. It's got 1 shim behind the bearing. That's how you use these smaller bearings for these, or these smaller shims that came with the kit for these bearings. All right, so we're putting in some 10,000. This bottle's hard to squeeze, so I'm going to have to put this camera down, but hold up. All right, guys. My buddy Donnie, he likes to weigh his diffs. What he'll do is he'll put it on there, weigh it, and then zero it out, and then he puts in a certain amount of oil. I don't do all that. I just bring it to the top cross pin, put the gear in, make sure everything's full, and then I put it together. So I've already done that, so I'm going to go ahead and put it together. All right, guys. So the first time I'd used 1 shim, and there was no shims behind the pinion. Being that the gear was new, I guess I remember when I put it in, I didn't put any shims behind it. But I did put one behind that, and it made it just too tight. So I've redone it, took all the shims out, and it's like perfect now. So let me see if I can set this down, show you. For Truggy, you still want it pretty tight, but you want it to be smooth. Pretty much like no play, but smooth. So that's about what it is. So feels smooth, but there's no play in it. Maybe just the littlest, slightest bit of tick, which I'm kind of concerned about. I'll look at it after the first race. Hopefully, if this gear does not hold up, I don't know, man. Serpent's going to be hearing from me, I guess. But really, you know, they do have a newer Truggy. So I don't know if this one was, back then, this was a 2010 Truggy. This gear, I think, was offered in 2014. So they redesigned it because the original gears couldn't take the power. So let's hope this one can. All right, I'm going to get it installed, and then we'll take a look, and I'll kind of put it on a stand and, you know, run it so we can listen to the you know, gears, the transmission. See what it sounds like, and hopefully it sounds good and smooth. And all right, guys. All right, another tip, though, lastly, before I add this rear clip, I'm going to get you some grease, get some on your finger or whatever. I might need a little bit more than that. And you want to take it in where the plastic gearbox mates with the chassis. So I'm going to go ahead and get a layer over the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up, and then we'll get this thing on there. Alright guys, so you see the grease all over. I used the white lithium on the gears. I used this red and tacky between the chassis and the diff box. And it's a little thicker and pastier, so it should grab more dirt if anything were to try to come by. It really makes a good seal, guys, so I just suggest y'all use it. So I've had no issues with dirt getting into these Serpent gearboxes. They're, pretty solid. So, but definitely use the grease. You won't have no issues. All right, guys. So here is my semi-finished yet unfinished, because I did run into some problems when doing all the conversions and everything that I wanted to do. Like the last one I came across was I did have the Serpent srx8 diff internals and the diff case cup or whatever you call it, and the ring gear that was upgrade for this does not fit on it, and that was pretty disappointing. I knew the bearings had to switch, so I'd already switched those, but the cup is just a little bit bigger in diameter, and the screw holes are just a little further apart. But that's all right. It's still, much upgraded. Most recently, the rear end with the shocks in the rear, sway bar in, the nowadays position, and upgrading to these, these cut gears, which, I know a lot of Mugen went to straight cut gears, and that's what they're preferring right now. But they're still, like, I was looking at the older ones and the newer ones. It's just like less of a tolerance, no matter what kind they are. Because I do have a Mugen 8R 42 tooth that was the underdrive that I had ordered. Came with some parts when I had my Mugen, and I couldn't use it because the Mugen 8s use a thicker, I think it's an 8mm diameter instead of 5. Drive axle cups that come out of the differential. So, all right, so this is the first time he's starting it up, and just kind of listening to the transmission. So let's see how it sounds. So hold up. I'm going to go ahead and put the body on it so we can get the full effect. All right, also wanted to mention another YouTube channel, RC Car Addict. He's a Serpent driver, so if you're looking for Serpent content in particular, go over there and check it out. Again, that's RC Car Addict. And I want to wish luck to him and all my other Serpent drivers at tomorrow's race at Red Brush. I won't be able to be there. Got to work, unfortunately. But yeah, good luck to everybody there. So I'll be paying attention when I can, when I'm not working, and good luck to you guys. It's a new layout they got. Well, I say new, it is new, but any layout nowadays, they seem to keep some of the bigger sections and just kind of modify the middle areas and whatnot. But it's still new. It looks great. Bobby Moore did it, so I can't wait to get to go there. But I am going tomorrow after work. It's only 20 minutes from where I work, so I'm gonna stop by after work and check it out and see who all's doing all the work there. So, all right, guys, let's cut this thing on. Oh man, that sounds smooth, guys. That's the smoothest this thing has ever sounded, to be real honest. All right, I'm excited about this. I might have to reshim the rear diff box. I'm gonna talk to some of my Serpent driver buddies. If I had a new rear diff case, which I may be able to get that before I have my next race with it, which is probably what I will do. I know if it's still the same or if it used to be what it is now, you don't. Since I got the new gears, if I had the new diff box, everything in the tolerances would be just right, and then it breaks in a little bit, and you put one shim behind the input pinion gear. So it's what I've done with my buggy over here. Which I've never had a problem with that one or my other Srx8 Evo e-buggy that I ran the crap out of it. I bought it used, is really good condition, nearly kind of new, probably You know, maybe 2-3 races on it, something like that. But anyway, listen to this, guys. That's the best it's ever sounded. I'm tempted to go take it out and drive it, but the battery's at storage charge. What the heck? Give me a minute. I'll be right back.